welcome back to another Wizard 101 video. So today we're going to be rating the top worlds in Wizard 101 in 2021 from worst to best. So we're going to start from the 16th best world all the way up to the first best world. We are not going to include Arcanum in this list because Arcanum is pretty much like a Ravenwood area. Pretty much. So there's nothing really to rate for the Arcanum. It's just a pretty much portal to not exactly a world, but like a ship. So we're not counting the Arcanum in this list, otherwise it'll be 17. But we will count all the other worlds, including Wisteria and some of the other side worlds like Grizzleheim in this list. And we'll start from the bottom and work our way to the top. So let's go ahead and get started with the worst world in the spiral. Alright everyone, for the worst world in the spiral, in my opinion, is going to be Zafaria. So Zafaria is a very repetitive world if you guys have quested through it. You kill gray mercenaries, you do collect tasks, and all of a sudden you have to defeat gray mercenaries again. This world just repeats the same quests over and over and just gets annoying. Like, the world itself is pretty, like it's a beautiful world, but the gameplay is just kind of annoying and tedious, which is why I put it all the way down on the bottom. I just hated questing through this world. Plus, you get introduced to one of the most annoying bosses in the game. So that is also why it is so low on this list. And King's Isle just seemed like they didn't really care much for the quest line in this world. They just got lazy and just made you attack a lot of the same minions over and over again. So yeah, that is pretty much why I made Zafaria the worst world in the spiral. Alright everyone, so for the 15th best world in the spiral, we have Wisteria. So Wisteria is a side world. It is gorgeous for a world, but it lacks more. I feel like it can have maybe one or two more areas. You can pretty much defeat this world in like an hour or two. It does not take long to beat this world. You're only here for a short amount of time, and yeah, you can completely disregard this world as well. Like, you don't really need to come here. So this world is often put on the back burner for a lot of people because of that, which I feel it needs something more. I mean, it has a Tower of Elephant, but this world doesn't really have much else to it besides it being so short. I mean, it has the other schools kind of countering Ravenwood and stuff too, but yet again, this world is really not great for quests. You barely gain any experience from this world at all, so it's not as important as all the other worlds, which is why it's so low on this list. I know you guys might be yelling at me. This world is a beautiful world, don't get me wrong, but this is the best world list. It's not like the best, most gorgeous world in the spiral. Otherwise it'll be ranked much higher, but this is just top worlds in the spiral of importance or gameplay overall, and you don't spend much time in this world, so that is why it is so low on this list. So let's go ahead and head over to the 14th best world. Alright guys, for the 14th best world in the spiral, we have Crocotopia. So Crocotopia is low on this list because the graphics are way behind. It is pretty much looking like 2008 graphics. They haven't really updated this world much. The character models, though, are better than they used to be, but this world can use an upgrade in the graphics. I just don't like the look of this world. It looks so bland compared to like some of the other worlds out there, which is why it's so low on this list. And also don't really like questing in Crocotopia. I just did not enjoy going from the pyramid to the Sphinx to the Tomb of Storms. It just didn't feel right to me. I just couldn't get the feel of it. I can see what they were trying to do with Crocotopia, but it just wasn't for me in this world, so that is why it is so low on this list in the 14th spot. So let's go ahead and head over to the 13th best world now. Alright everyone, for the 13th best world in the spiral, we have good old Wizard City. So Wizard City is where you start and is pretty much the tutorial to this game and introduces you to the game. Ever since they upgraded the graphics and everything for Wizard City, and also some of the quests have been updated as well, it has gotten a lot better than it used to be. Otherwise, Wizard City will probably be below Crocotopia if it didn't get a revamp. So yeah, Wizard City looks a lot better. The feel of it is better. So that is why it is above Crocotopia and some of the other worlds below it. But it doesn't really beat a lot of the other worlds on this list because it just doesn't feel as challenging, and yeah, you don't get much out of Wizard City as you do a lot of the other worlds. So yeah, that is why it's so low on this list. Let's go ahead and head over to the 12th best world in the spiral. Alright guys, we are back with the 12th best world in the spiral. As you guys can already tell, we are in Celestia. So Celestia, we get introduced to astral spells, critical, and a lot of other components in the game. It is also the start of the second arc. But this world can be, I mean, it's kind of annoying at certain parts of this world. The bosses tend to be a bit of a pain at first, but later on it gets better, and the gameplay feels more clean and smooth later in Celestia, but at first it is pretty bad. So that is why it is in the 12th spot. I do like the world itself and how it's underwater. Hopefully they will maybe upgrade the graphics a little bit in this world. But for now, it is alright. Definitely better than the other worlds that are lower on this list, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and talk about the number 11th world now. Alright guys, for the number 11th spot for the best world in the spiral, it is Chrysalis. So Chrysalis is the 11th best world because it is so long. Like this world, it will easily take you a few days to complete this world. It has so many quests, it takes such a long time. It came in 2 parts, but besides that, it is a very gorgeous world. I do like the bugs and the theme of the world, but it's just so long. It just takes so long. So I just did not enjoy being in this world for such a long time. You know, it may be fine a little bit less, but being in one world for such a long time just kind of burns you out of the game, which is why it is in the number 11th spot. But other than that, this world was a pretty good world. It was pretty challenging towards the end as well, which is why it's in the number 11th slot. And there are just some better worlds out there, I feel, that just gave me a better feel of the game, but this one definitely is in my nightmares for how long it was. So yeah, this world is in 11th spot because of that. And let's go ahead and head over to the 10th best world. Alright guys, for the 10th best world, we have Marley Bone. I actually enjoyed Marley Bone quite a bit, more than the other worlds on this list that are beneath it. I do like the industrialized theme of Marley Bone. It is not too short or too long. It's kind of in between. But yeah, you can beat this world in a day. It doesn't take too long, but it was just enough to where, you know, you didn't really get burned out of this world. This world is pretty interesting. You gotta meet a bunch of individuals, and a lot of them come from actual history, and based off of, you know, the industrialized area in Great Britain, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, that is why Marley Bone is in the number 10th slot. Plus, his world looks pretty nice. If they somehow update the graphics in this world will look amazing, especially if they upgrade like the textures of these buildings. But yeah, I feel like this world was pretty good in my opinion, which is why it is in the number 10 spot. So let's go ahead and talk about the number 9 world. Alright guys, in the 9th spot we have Grizzleheim. So I'm including Winter Tusk in this with this world in general. Just because, you know, why not? Winter Tusk is not really its own world, it's just a separate area of Grizzleheim. So I included Winter Tusk in this with Grizzleheim, so that is why Grizzleheim is in the 9th spot. This world is a very good side world. I mean, you get to come here at a pretty low level, and then you can come back here like 10 levels later each time and complete all the areas here. So you weren't here like too long, but overall you can be if you just do all the quests in one go. But if you do it over time, you know, it's pleasing to quest here. It's not like you get burned out like in Chrysalis. It can be a long world if you do all the quests in one go, though, including Winter Tusk. But other than that, it is a very nice world to be in. I enjoy the kind of like Viking theme of this world. So yeah, that is why it is in the number 9th spot. Let's go ahead and head over to the 8th best world in the spiral. Alright guys, for the 8th best world in the spiral, we have Azteca. Now, when I was looking through all the worlds and rating them, I was not expecting me to rate this world as high as I did. But I have to rate it this high in this list because, yes, the world is long, which is why it's still pretty low on this list. I did not like how long it was because it took me like a few days to beat this world. Kind of like Chrysalis, but I do like the look of it a lot better than I do Chrysalis. The gameplay was not bad at all as well in Azteca. It was semi-challenging, but I did hate having to fight Belloc twice and being introduced to Mushu again. Spoiler alert, if you guys have not been here yet, I'm sorry. But yeah, that is pretty much why I rated this world in the number 8th spot. Yeah, so let's go ahead and head over to the number 7 world. Alright guys, for the 7th best world in the spiral, we have good old Polaris. So Polaris was a very short world. If you guys played in Polaris, you guys know how short it is. You can beat this world in a few hours or a day or two. Like, this world was not long at all. If it was longer, then I can see this world being higher in this list. But it was so short and sweet, like, it just didn't feel like as good as some of the other worlds. But it is pretty pleasing to look at. It's kind of based off like Russia and communism and stuff like that. You get penguins, polar bears. I mean, who doesn't like that kind of stuff? So that is why it is in the number 7th slot. Let's go ahead and head over to the number 6 best world in the spiral. Alright guys, for the 6th best world in the spiral, we have Dragonspire. So Dragonspire was a good length for a world that was ending an arc. I feel it like was a perfect length for that. Unlike Chrysalis was way too long. But Dragonspire, I feel, was like the perfect length for a world to end on a character or end arc on. And you also get a professor to help you, which I thought was pretty cool. I do like all the dragons and creatures you have to face in Dragonspire, and how you have to work up your way towards the Dragon Titan in this world, which is at the top of the volcano, which I thought was pretty cool. And if this world does get a graphic update, I feel like it'll look amazing once it gets updated and all that. Since it hasn't really been updated, besides the characters, as you can see, Cyrus Drake is updated and a lot of the other models have been updated. But the world itself is still the same as it was back in the day. But once they update it, I feel like it will look amazing. So that is why Dragonspire is number 6 on this list. Let's go ahead and head over to the 5th best world. Alright guys, deciding the top 5 worlds was pretty challenging to me because these 5 top worlds are pretty good. I enjoyed questing through all 5 of them very much. Like, they were top tier questing in gameplay wise. So yeah, but out of all of them, I would have to rate Mirage as number 5. So Mirage is number 5 because it is, I mean, it's kind of lengthy, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the other worlds that are above it on this list when it comes to questing or story-wise. So that's why it is number 5 on this list. I mean, it looks very nice. I do like the desert theme and like it a lot. I mean, I love some of the other areas in Mirage as well. They have some of the best looking areas in the spiral in Mirage, like the Caterwall Canyon and some of the other locations in this world. So it is not a bad world to look at. Like, it is a gorgeous world. There's the gameplay just doesn't feel as good as the other worlds, which is why it is in the number 5 slot. So let's go ahead and talk about the number 4 world. Alright guys, for the 4th best world in the spiral, we have Mushu. So Mushu was a very good world to quest in. I enjoyed the scenery. It was pretty much a fresh breath air. Like, it was great to just come into this world after going from Crocotopia, let's just say. Like, I had a little bit of breather in this world from Croc. It was pleasing to look at compared to Croc, and such a beautiful world in general. I do like how it goes off of like Japanese culture with all the monks, the ninjas, and whatnot. So I do like that, and a bunch of samurais like just running around, as you can see. It was just a very pleasing world to quest in and also look at, which is why it is so high on this list in the number 4th slot. But other than that, let's go ahead and talk about the number 3 world in the spiral. Alright guys, for the 3rd best world in the spiral, we have Imperia. So Imperia has a lot of different areas that look cool, and also it was semi-challenging, pretty challenging towards the end, which I liked. I mean, I just like pretty challenging worlds. This world was definitely challenged at the very end in the Husk area, and also the stream portal over there allows you to go to all the different locations quickly and easily, and there's just so many different cool areas in this world that I really liked. I especially love the jungle and also some of the other areas like the Reverie or the Husk. But yeah, this place was a very cool world to go to. And so many different areas. It was just pretty interesting to quest here. Definitely different feel than a lot of the other worlds. And there's just so many different characters in here as well. So yeah, that is why this world is in the number 3 slot. And let's go ahead and head towards the second best. Alright guys, for the second best world, surprise, surprise, Caramel. So Caramel was just a gorgeous world. The quest line wasn't too bad as well. It was really good. The music can be quite annoying in this world, but other than that, I enjoyed the gameplay of this world. Like, it was pleasing, it was fun. It was definitely a breath of fresh air from Imperia after you defeat the Trident boss. It was semi-challenging. It wasn't too difficult to quest in this world. And yeah, it was just overall a great world to be in. And also you can see all these different characters from across the spiral kind of like hanging out in the middle of the city, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, that is why Caramel's in the number 2nd slot. Let's go ahead and head over to the top best world in the spiral. Alright guys, if you guys have been counting down and been looking at the different worlds, watching this video, you know there's just one left, which is Avalon. And those who have actually spoken to me in person, you all know that Avalon's my favorite world. I love, love, love the medieval theme, and I love the quest line, the story in this world. It was just pretty interesting to learn about King Artorias. I mean, the lore was pretty much based off King Arthur, and Merle Ambrose was pretty much Merlin. And of course, they got the Lady of the Lake, which I really enjoyed. It was a very fun world to quest in. The bosses did have a lot of health compared to the other worlds, but this world was great to quest in. It is also very pleasing to look at. The story's amazing. It's just an amazing world to be in, and I really enjoyed how you went from the high road and you pretty much walked your way through the world to quest in. I mean, they do have a few teleporters. They could probably use a little bit more teleporters, but other than that, this world was amazing. Like, I have no issues with it. It was just a 10 out of 10 for me for a world. I wish they made worlds more like this one. I mean, Zafaria has a similar feel, but they just trashed it in Zafaria compared to Avalon. But yeah, Avalon was an amazing world. I loved it the best out of all of them. I feel like it has the best gameplay for me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think your favorite world is, because this is all my opinion. I mean, it's not really, you know, the best for some people out there. But for me, this was my thoughts, my feelings of each world, and my list, which I came up with after experiencing them all 7 times through. So yeah, this is my view of the best worlds in the spiral. Let me go ahead and name them off again from worst to best. So 16th we have Zafaria, 15th Wisteria, 14th spot was Crocotopia, 13th Wizard City, 12th was Celestia, 11th Chrysalis, then Marley Bone was in the 10th spot, 9th spot was Grizzleheim, 8th was Azteca, 7th Polaris, 6th Dragonspire, 5th Mirage, 4th Mushu, 3rd Imperia, 2nd Caramel, and 1st Avalon. So going through the worlds list, just so you guys know, I've gone through them all. Here we go. So it'll be all these worlds right here. So we already named them all: Wizard Croc, Marley Bone, Mushu, Dragonspire, Grizzleheim, Celestia, Wisteria, Zafaria, Avalon, which we're currently in, Azteca, Chrysalis, Polaris. The Arcanum we did not count because it's pretty much just a spaceship in space. Not really a world. It's just pretty much where you get some extra spells and meet some professors. I mean, it's not really a world. It's just a location. So we did not count Arcanum, Mirage, and Imperia, and of course we have Caramel. So these are the worlds currently when I made this video. Once the new world comes out, which should be Lumeria, it should come out either later this year or maybe next year is when Lumeria should come out. So looking forward to that. Keep following me for walkthroughs if Lumeria comes out. I may make other top lists in Wizard101 in the future, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.